Hello everyone, Von Marie here and welcome to the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. So we are going to make a Halloween stenciled card. And this set is so much fun. It's the Terrific Tickets Halloween layering stencil. And you get 3 stencils. And I'm going to share with you the 3 stencils. And you get, this is the Terrific Tickets die that goes with it. There's also another die that I don't own, but it also goes with this collection. So that's so fun. You have a ghost there, and you have what I believe is Frankenstein, and you have some words and candy corn and stars. There's a broom and there's a moon. So we're going to get started. I'm going to take this die out of the packaging and we will get started ink blending. I'm going to use some Hammer Mill cardstock, which is 100 pounds, and I am just going to be getting out my Distress Oxide inks and my blending brushes, and we're just going to have a lot of fun ink blending this stencil set. And if you know me, you know I love to stencil. I use stencils a lot, so I am just excited to use this set. So let's get started. So here I'm going to first start off with this Twisted Citron Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to ink blend this whole ticket outline here, and I am just trying to get in the nooks and crannies of this whole ticket. And after that, I will use some black soot. There is some words on this stencil, and you'll see later I didn't line up the words correctly. I should have looked a little carefully. I'm going to try and blame it on my eyes. So I did add a sentiment later on from, I used the Halloween postage stamp set later on to add spooky to my card, and so I will just add that later, but for now let's have fun finishing this ink blending. There's also a pumpkin. I'm using the Carved Pumpkin Distress Oxide ink, and then later I will grab my Spiced Marmalade, but I believe I forgot to ink blend the lines of the pumpkin. But that's okay, because as long as I ink blended the face on there, that's pretty much what I was going for, what I really wanted. So I am just now ink blending some stars and the moon here, and there's also a broom that I'll go back and ink blend. So later I take my stencils off. I noticed some pieces I forgot. You can easily place your stencils back on and ink blend again. So it's very easy to line up, but like I said, I didn't look carefully, and I'm going to blame it on I need probably new glasses, or I need glasses. So I am blaming it on that. And thankfully I have a eye appointment coming up. So yay. So here's where I didn't ink blend the pumpkin. These lines here, which will look really great. And if you use whatever colors you choose, I'm sure this stenciled piece will look beautiful. And probably using smaller brushes helps a lot better also. So I just use some big brushes here, but I'm sure if I ink blend this again, I will use small brushes and I will look more carefully. But I still think it came out really cute and fun. And later we will use some pattern paper as well. So it's just a really fun and easy card, and there's no coloring really, just ink blending, which is our coloring, but I think it goes really quick. You can make a lot of cards this way. You can do assembly line, so I think it looks great, and I'm just going to add on my candy corn here. I'm trying to get my candy corn straight and shift over my stencil a little bit. So on top is where I add that sentiment because it says fright, but I didn't like the way I lined up my letters. And so it worked out great that I could just place a sentiment over that area once my card was almost finished. And so next I will add that I believe I'm going to just finish off with the face here of the pumpkin, and I still need to finish, I think, the bats and words there on the bottom that says chills, and then the eek. But yeah, again, up here on the fright is where I didn't like where I lined it up. So maybe if I would have shifted my stencil a little bit, that would have been perfect. And just finishing up here, and I did add some black soot for the stem, and I'll add it to the pumpkin face and to the bottom of those tickets there. And so I'm going to take my stencil off. Here is the terrific tickets die, and here's what it looks like lined up, which is so great. I love it, and it's a little off there to the left, but that's okay because I'm going to ink blend it with some twisted citron. You have those holes there, and that's where I'm going to place a bow, which was really easy to slip a bow through there. Here is my pattern paper from the Halloween, what is it? Halloween Inks paper pad. It's 6x6. You get 30 single-sided sheets, and every one of them is really beautiful. And I didn't want to cut up my paper, but I do want to use one for my background, and I love this one. I think it brings out the green, and I think it's just so pretty, so I'm going to use that one. And I'm going to cut it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My card is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. And I'm going to have some foam tape in the back of my panel here, and I'll place my bow and my sentiment spooky, and this card came together so cute and fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to end up fussy cutting that pumpkin with the hat there. I was just trying to make sure that this is what I wanted, and so ink blending the sides here and just finishing up with that pumpkin face that I forgot. And I love that you can just still add your stencil back onto that panel if you forgot something. And so I didn't get it perfectly lined up, so here I am just adding more ink and small brush, and voila, it's finished. And I love how it came out. So I have a green card base, so fun. And a last thing I will do is add some white gel pen accents to my bats for some eyes. And I love that you have these extra tickets. You could place them in the inside of your card with your pattern paper, your extra pattern paper here. And this finishes my card. So I had so much fun making this card with you today. Thank you for joining me. I will be back soon with another card tutorial. Have a great day.